Forget the horns. In 824 AD, a farmer named Ingolfur Arnason stood on a cliff in Reykjavik. He carried not a sword, but heavy oak beams. These logs were his home. The Vikings built before they burned. Survival meant trade. In Hedeby, modern Germany, Norse merchants exchanged furs for silver dirhams from Baghdad. They didn't just raid, they connected continents. A single necklace traveled 3,000 miles before reaching Iceland. The clinker-built longship. Overlapping planks, riveted with iron. It could sail the ocean or skim a shallow creek. This design allowed them to reach Newfoundland in 1021 AD. Centuries before Columbus. The Atlantic was unforgiving. In Lance Auxiliary Meadows, Newfoundland, they found wild grapes. But winter came fast. Conflict with the Beothuk people forced them back. The dream of settlement lasted only 3 years. Back in Iceland, the saga was born. Not in books, but in memory. Snorri Sturluson would later write it down. The Vikings were explorers, traders, and storytellers. Their legacy sails on. It started with oak. In a Bergen shipyard, 12 skilled carpenters hammered iron rivets into overlapping planks. This clinker-built design held the sea's power. Flexible. Unbreakable. The secret to their dominance. They launched it at dawn. 40 oarsmen pulled in perfect sync. The ship glided over water like a bird. It carried warriors, goods, and dreams across 3,000 miles of open Atlantic. Weeks later, the North Atlantic raged. Waves crashed over the deck. Yet the ship flexed with the swell. No European vessel could survive that storm. They sailed deeper into the unknown. Newfoundland, 1021 AD. They stepped onto foreign soil. Wild grapes grew in the forests. But the Beothuk people watched from the trees. Peace was fragile here. Winter came hard. Snow buried the longhouses. Conflict erupted. They left after 3 years. But the memory stayed. The saga began. In Iceland, the Skald sang. Snorri Sturluson wrote it down. Raiders became legends. Their legacy isn't just conquest. It's exploration, trade, and stories that never fade. The saga was written, but the men were real. 793 AD. Lindisfarne. 3 longships breached the mist. Not chaos. Strategy. Silver. Slaves. Land. They didn't just raid. They farmed the Atlantic. They didn't just want prayer. They wanted profit. Silver flowed back to Norway. 200 slaves captured in one raid. That wealth fueled expansion. From fjords to Francia, the trade network exploded. Raiding was farming. The harvest was human. Silver wasn't enough. They needed speed. Enter the Nur. The fur. Arctic foxes. Walruses. The most expensive fabric in Europe. One skin could buy a horse. The North was no longer empty. It was a gold mine waiting to be shipped south. They sailed north. Beyond the map. Svalbard. 800 AD. The air dropped to -20. But the hunters pressed on. They returned with hundreds of skins. The trade route stretched from the Arctic Circle to Constantinople. The Vikings connected the world. They built a hub. Kaupang. Norway's first town. 850 AD. Not just warriors. Merchants. Silk from Byzantium. Glass from the Mediterranean. The Viking Age wasn't just war. It was global commerce. Trust required law. The thing. Annual assemblies. Every free man could speak. Decisions were made by consensus. Democracy, born in the fjords. This structure allowed them to govern vast empires. From London to Kiev. The system worked. Until the world changed. Christianity arrived. Not by sword. By marriage. 900 AD. Norway converts. The raiders became kings. The Viking Age faded. But the legacy remained. We are all a little Viking. The raiding stopped. Trade began. 950 AD. York, England. A chest opens. 100 silver coins. Silk threads. Spices from India. This wasn't loot. It was global wealth. The Vikings were the middlemen of the medieval world. Follow the money. The Dnieper River. A Varangian longship cuts through the reeds. Rowing south. Past Kiev. Past Khazaria. They carried furs. Amber. Slaves. They wanted Byzantine gold. The route was brutal. But the profit was endless. Constantinople. 960 AD. The Golden Gate. The city sparkled. 200,000 people. The Vikings traded for silk. Spices. Wine. They returned home as merchants. Not warriors. The north connected to the east. One continuous web of commerce. Dublin. 980 AD. A woman's grave. Archaeologists dig. They find a tunic. It's not wool. It's raw silk. Imported from China. Proving the link. The Viking network spanned continents. From the Baltic to the Yellow Sea. A single thread connected them all. Across the ocean. Vinland. 1000 AD. Leif Erikson. He didn't just sail west. He traded with indigenous people, exchanging furs for timber. The Vikings were explorers, but also partners. The map expanded. The world grew smaller. The sagas were written, but the truth was deeper. The Vikings were the world's first global network. Raiders, traders, explorers. Their legacy isn't just conquest. It's connection. We are still trading their stories today. Iceland. 985 AD. Eric the Red stares north. He sees a mountain range. But he doesn't turn back. He steers toward ice. Exile became exploration. The first step into the unknown. How did they navigate? No compass. No maps. They used sunstones. Crystals that cut through fog. And bird flights. If the bird flew west, land was near. Science disguised as myth. Pure intuition. The Atlantic. 500 miles of open water. Leif Erikson leads the fleet. 3 ships. Storms hit. Waves crash over the deck. Men pray. But the ships hold. Built for this. They see land. Vinland. America. Newfoundland. 999 AD. They step onto the beach. Wild grapes. Timber. Resources for Greenland. This wasn't just a raid. It was a resource hunt. The first Europeans. 500 years before Columbus. History rewritten. They didn't just find land. They found people. Indigenous Beothuks. Trade, not war. Furs for cloth. A peaceful exchange. The Vikings weren't conquerors here. They were neighbors. The first contact was gentle. The saga ends here. But the story continues. We remember them as raiders. But they were explorers. Traders. Connectors. They crossed the ocean. And they brought the world together. The Viking Age faded. But the network remained. The network held for 20 years. But at Lance Auxiliary Meadows, supply lines stretched thin. Only 80 settlers. Isolation set in. The cold bit deep. They couldn't maintain the colony. Vinland was too far. Too quiet. They didn't build a kingdom. Just a foothold. But look closer. A bronze pin. A soapstone lamp. These small clues survived. They prove we were here. The silence speaks volumes. Archaeologists dug in 1960. Helga and Steiningstad found it. 8 turf houses. A forge. It matched the sagas perfectly. Amazed, the story was true. The Vikings reached America. History shifted. They weren't just raiders. They were global traders. From Scandinavia to North America. A connected world. The Viking Age wasn't an end. It was a bridge. We are still standing on it. So next time you think Vikings, think beyond horns. Think explorers. Think traders. Think builders. Their story isn't over. It's just beginning. Welcome to the real North. They didn't vanish. They dissolved into the fabric of England. Look at the words you speak. Sky. Earth. Window. Over 2,000 Old Norse words live in modern English. The raiders became neighbors. In Dublin, 980 AD. The Norse king Olaf Whitehands ruled not by fear, but by law. He married into Irish royalty. His son, Ede, became the first Viking to sit on the High King's throne. The invaders became the rulers. In the Isle of Man and the Hebrides, the Norse Gaelic culture emerged. A hybrid identity. Runes carved into stone crosses. Christian saints wearing horned helmets? No. Just a blending of worlds. 700 years of influence. Genetic studies show it. 1% to 5% of British people carry Viking DNA. In Northern England? Up to 15%. They didn't conquer us. They joined us. The Vikings didn't die out. They evolved. Not monsters. Not myths. Adapters. Connectors. They built the bridge between Europe and America. Between past and future. The Viking Age ended. But the Viking spirit? It's still sailing.